Hey.
Hey.
Okay, welcome to our first ever.
The Granite Games responded to my story.
We're gonna call this the breakdown. Okay? We may be breaking down different, kinds of things. Today, it just happens to be the CrossFit Games and the changes to the season. Last year, after the games, it was announced that there were going to be big changes to the CrossFit Games sports, as at least on the side of like how you qualify and stuff. So the Open would become a direct qualifier to the games, top 20 people. And everything I'm going to say is for male and female. So top 20 male, top 20 female in the world would go straight to the games, qualifying straight out of the Open. And then there would be a national champion from each country that has a CrossFit gym in it, right? So CrossFit affiliate. Or you can go to a sanctioned event. Sanctioned events are basically regionals that CrossFit doesn't have to pay for. They're independently run and operated events. The winner of each sanctioned event gets an invite to the CrossFit Games.
Can you go into the backfilling? For example, Matt Fraser. Matt Fraser qualifies for the Open, which obviously everyone is expecting him to. And then he also goes to another sanctioned event, wins that event. Backfilling still is going to apply.
So it just means second place from that event goes.
Right.
There's no
That's what I wanted.
it's not going to be as confusing about this year. It's not going to be as confusing as it was this year.
It will not be as confusing this year. That's
Okay, and let's say you won. Well, it's pretty simple. Then second place would get the invite to the games from that sanctional event, right? And if second place had already qualified through the Open, then third place, and it would just get passed down and down until it reaches someone that hasn't already qualified through the Open.
What do you have to say for the people who are really upset about regionals being gone and sanctionals being here,
I know like a lot of people had their eyes set on the regionals and were getting close, or they were already a regional athlete. And it doesn't make sense for anyone to have lasting sadness or disappointment that regionals is gone. The sanctioned events alone, there are going to be 28 people going to the games.
28 men and then 28 women.
If you want to do a high-level competition like regionals, go to a sanctioned event. You are going to get a better competition than you did at regionals. Swimming events and running events and, odd object and all of this stuff that they couldn't do at regionals.
When I first heard they were getting rid of regionals, I'm sure you remember, I was really upset.
Yep.
And I said, how could they do this? This is our sport. But Sanctionals has given the same excitement as regionals. So can you talk about the eliminations at the games?
I think that people are, they're upset about it because their person that they're, emotionally tied to isn't there anymore, right? And I understand. Like, I'm a big fan of Brent Fikowski and Patrick Vellner, and they didn't make it into the top 10. Yeah, lots of people that I really was looking forward to seeing and enjoying watching compete. But honestly, the way I see it, all right, let's just take it by a couple of events at a time, right? The first event, just an amazing, classic kind of CrossFit workout, right? 400-meter run, 3 legless rope climbs, and heavy squat snatches, 4 rounds for time, right? If you can't do that, if you can't be good at that, if you're not in the top 50, you really don't need to move on, right? I'm not saying you shouldn't be there. People, they earn their spot there through the open and stuff, but there's like they don't need to continue on if you're not able to finish in the top, right? The cuts have to be made somewhere. All right, so then the second event, you know, you have rowing, kettlebell push press, and handstand walks. So some capacity, a little trickery, and then some skill.
I also think that the second workout is really interesting because compared to the first one, so in both workouts you have a little bit of cardio capacity, work capacity, just straight cardio. The first one had decently heavy lifting. I mean, I'm not a games athlete, so I'm not even close to a games athlete, so like I can't squat snatch 1/3, I'm not even close, but it sounds pretty heavy to me, but I would imagine that it's not like terribly heavy for a seasoned games athlete, but it's still decently heavy.
It's a separator. It's a separator.
Whereas in the second workout, you have very light push press, kettlebell push press, but that tests your muscular endurance because you did, I think it was 66 reps of light kettlebell push press. It was 25s for the women and 35s for the men. Yeah. So very light for a games athlete. So that tests your muscular endurance, whereas the first one with the squat snatches is more testing your muscular strength. Now, it's not testing your muscular strength in the way that a 1-rep max would, but it definitely is still testing your overall muscular strength. It really is.
Both workouts, though, foundationally test you at how good you are at CrossFit. Yeah. Not how good you are at running, not how good you are at climbing a rope, you know, like, no, at CrossFit. Yeah. They're just good CrossFit workouts.
But what I was going into from that is that it's testing two different things. And I don't know, I would think that Dave Castro thought that through.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, I think that's very interesting. Yeah. And then both had, rope climbs, you know, that's important. And then handstand walks, you know, that's gymnastics. Yeah. Is rope climbs considered gymnastics?
I don't know. I don't really think so.
Well, anyway, whatever they are, they're...
What I loved about it was that it doesn't allow for you to have holes in your fitness. The game has been changed. And so you're gonna have to adjust to that. And part of adjusting to that is you can't just have like big holes. You're not going to be able to just like totally bomb one event and be like, that's okay, I'm gonna make it up when we do the deadlifts because I'm really good at that. I think college basketball is a really good example. If you show up to the Final Four and you have a bad night, nobody's like, well, you know, they shouldn't get eliminated.
Yeah, nobody's saying, well, they deserve to be there. Well, duh, they deserve to be there. That's why they were there.
It's like
they still
you
get eliminated.
had a bad night, you didn't make your threes, that's too bad, you're done. Next year, you can try again. And that's really what the elimination, you know, what the cuts are, is like, you can't drag around all of the teams the whole tournament. The owner of our gym, you know, he was eliminated, you know, after the second event because he slipped
he made a mistake
during
on
his you know, and he's great at handstand walks, but like, I'm sorry, that really stinks that happened, but it did. And someone else crossed the line first. Everything that we've talked about is our opinions, and it's definitely, you know, just something that we think. I understand like a lot of people feel differently, but I think it's because they're feeling differently. Like,
I think a lot of people are really angry about the cuts because they're really disappointed that they didn't see their favorite athletes.
I think if you really stop and think about it, it makes pretty good sense. There just needs to be some stuff ironed out. So, you know, if you want to comment and tell us how much you disagree, then we welcome it.
Yeah,
we welcome your opinion.
Please.
This is our opinion.
No name calling.
But we welcome your opinion also. changes are definitely always necessary for things to grow and become better.